Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Tales from the Fandom. It is the month of February of 2022, and I am joined by someone that I had stumbled across on Instagram, and I loved her work so much that I was like, hey, I need to talk to this person. So joining me today is Morgan, but you may know Morgan by her username on Instagram as Cosmic Sea Turtle. So Morgan, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me, and thank you for liking my content.
I enjoy a lot of people's stuff out there in the world of Instagram. It's something where when I started the podcast, I was like, well, who can I talk to about fandom? And I was like, I bet cosplayers would love to talk about stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, we're one of the experts of fandom.
I know, like blood, sweat, tears, money, all go into the stuff that you create. So it's definitely something where it's like, I'm sure they'd like to talk more about stuff and get out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Morgan, I'm curious about the username, just out of curiosity, because some people have unique usernames, and yours is no different. What's up with the Cosmic Sea Turtle?
So basically, I took the cosplayer, at the time she was going by the name of Mango Cyrene, and that was her YouTube channel, but I think she goes by Faunia now. And she made like a whole video about choosing a username, and she's like, I just picked things I liked, or things that people called me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick an animal I like, and a word I like, and it was cosmic and sea turtles. I was like, sea turtles are pretty, and cosmic sounds pretty cool. But also now a lot of people think that it has to do with the Manchurian from It, like the Stephen King book. So
Okay.
that could work too, because I'm into horror. But no, that I just picked two words that I liked basically, and it kind of stuck.
And there you have it. The mystery is solved.
Yes, not very exciting.
Now, I will tell you, it looks like, because I was trying to figure out like the earliest photo that caught my attention, and I guess I'm still going back. I thought I found it, but it must be even earlier. I don't know. I'm sure I'll find it while we're talking. But we've got a number of fandoms that you're into, and that we're going to just dive right into. Probably one of the ones that just has been dominating for over 10 plus years now, or even probably even more than that right now. And that's Marvel.
Yeah, wow, it's crazy to think that like the MCU has been around that long. It's great that it's still around, but
Yeah,
wow.
it's wild sometimes when you think about it. It's like, I can't believe, like, I remember watching Iron Man in the movie theater and thinking like, that'd be really cool if they had an Avengers movie at some point, but that's like the dream, right?
Yeah, that'll never happen. Like the big movies never get past like two,
Yep.
maybe in a series. And now look at where we're at.
Yeah, I remember it was like, it was they said, oh, if Thor, if because Incredible Hulk didn't do good, and they said if Thor doesn't do good, then we're in serious trouble of not having anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, are you just purely like cinematic universe? Are you comics? Are you everything? Video games? Like, where do you fall in the Marvel universe?
So with Marvel, I kind of found I was always, and I still kind of am, like really close to DC. So to me, Marvel was like the other for a while, and I kind of just vaguely knew. I was like, oh, that's like the copy of Batman, or like I knew Spider-Man, of course, but things like Iron Man, I didn't really pay attention to. The Avengers, I was like, I like the Justice League more. But when the movies came around, that's when I really like tried to get into it, and then from there, so like I'm more MCU, but I have read a handful of comics like here and there, like picking
Okay.
them up. And then I don't know. I played like the fighting games, like Marvel versus Capcom,
hmm
and like the Lego games. I don't think that counts.
that totally counts. Don't disregard those. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of where I stand with Marvel. I sound like such a poser. I didn't read all the comics. I'm not.
Oh, whatever. Shh. Listen,
DC's my comics. That's where I live with the comics, and then Marvel gets the films.
it always is like the annoying thing when especially like the comic readers, and they're like, sticking their nose in the air. Well, this isn't the way it happened in the comic books, and it's like you need to evolve and move on beyond like just your canon comics. Like, you're going to have to like expand.
Especially because the comics don't even follow their own canon. There's so
Yep,
many universes. Like, just go with it. Just go with it.
exactly. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a wide-ranging, unbelievable amount of characters and movies, and so many different things happening, especially now with the TV shows and the movies.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, like, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite character? If you can narrow it down to one, that's great. If not, throw a few extras in there.
Okay, I have two. So I can probably split it between like female and male character. So female, obviously, for me, if anybody's seen anything I post, is Scarlet Witch. I found out about her. Well, I knew of her from X-Men, but I didn't really follow X-Men. And then when was Age of Ultron, that was the first like Marvel, well, not the first Marvel movie I was attached to, but the first one I went in knowing kind of what was going on in the whole cinematic universe and really being into it. And then they introduced her and Pietro, who we also love. And I was just like, ooh, that one, Wanda, I like her because she's cool, she's damaged and lovely, and she's great. And then for male, another damaged person is Loki, because Loki is the reason I got into the MCU. I don't know if it was a trailer. It had to be a trailer for like when the DVD of Thor came out, and I saw clips of it, and I was like, ooh, who's that? What is that about? He looks cool. I like him. And then I saw Thor, and I was like, oh, he looks funny too. He's like a golden retriever. Okay. And my friend had the DVD, and so we watched it. 'Cause she was like hardcore into Marvel way before I even got in, so she helped and explained what was going on. But yeah, he got me into it. So like Loki, always a special place in my heart. And then Wanda, I'm just so happy that she has her time to shine, and we're getting plot with her, because they just kind of sat on her character for a long time. I don't know if they were scared of using her because she would overshadow the guys, but at least we got her now.
Absolutely, it's definitely something, especially with Wanda and her presentation between like Age of Ultron, and then you don't really see her again until Captain America 3. And it's like they don't really have time to develop her because it's not her movie. Like, and she's not really there. She's just, I mean, she's there.
She's like a side character of the Avengers.
Yeah, she's like their little project essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see, especially like when they announced like WandaVision, especially. Okay, let me back up. When they announced like a lot of these TV shows, when Disney Plus was coming out, I was like, why? Like,
yeah,
why are we doing WandaVision? Why are we doing Loki? Like, all this stuff.
Especially Loki, because you're like, wait, weren't we done?
Right, exactly.
Like, how are you doing this? Yeah.
And it's been such a delight to see them be able to build on these characters to the point where you're like, I really hope they do more. I almost would rather see TV shows than movies at times, because I get 8 hours instead of 2 hours.
Exactly, and they have time now because the shows are doing so well that they can dive into these characters, and we're getting more of them as people. Like, they're more well-rounded. And I'm not saying the movies are bad, but a lot of like the original Avengers have that issue, because some of them didn't even get movies until this year. But we didn't. Well, Iron Man had his whole series, so I'll give them him. But everybody else they were still finding the characters, and by the time we got to Endgame, we were finally getting there with a lot of them.
Right.
And then, oh, it's over, or you gotta wait years and years for the rest of their story, which I understand because that's how filming works. But the TV shows give you a bit more content in a shorter amount of time.
Exactly. And it's nice to like just sit with the character and be like, it's nice to get to know you and see what drives you and the little things that you like to do and what you eat for breakfast. And like I know this episode, by the time it comes out, will be post Hawkeye by 2 months. But like Hawkeye has been something where I was more into it for like Kate Bishop, because I liked the Young Avengers in the comics.
Yeah.
But like getting to know Clint on the level that you are, and just like seeing him be like this world weary type like Avenger, but he's wanting to just get home for Christmas, and it's like,
right,
dang, I love him.
I feel like Clint in Hawkeye finally has a personality. Like, I only watched it. Like, I don't hate Hawkeye. I like him better in the comics. Because he has a personality in the comics.
Right.
So, like, MCU Hawkeye, I'm just like, oh, yeah, he's there. I keep forgetting you're there, but you're there. And then I only watched it because Yelena. Is this a spoiler? Well,
it's fine. It'll be a couple months after.
Yeah. Yelena was going to be in it. And I was like, well, I got to watch it because obviously I don't know what episode she's going to show up. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, no, got to watch it. Got to see Nat's sister. And then Kate, I was like, oh, right, Kate's in it. And I'm like, that makes sense because hopefully they're building the Young Avengers thing. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
And then he's in it, and now I'm getting attached to him. And I'm like, oh, no, this is bad. Because he's one of the OGs, and I'm like, they're trying to kick you guys all out.
Right? Like, eventually it's going to be like, I feel like Bruce Banner is going to be the only one that, like, sticks around as like an OG Avenger at some point, but only because they can't really do much with the Hulk because of, like, licensing issues. He can't have his own movie.
Right. But I think they're going to try and work around that because She-Hulk is coming out. So if they're able to do her, they might do her first movie and then somehow make the second one kind of his. Kind of how, Captain America Civil War is kind of an Avengers movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely an Avengers movie.
Yeah. Poor Captain get his third one to himself, at least.
Yeah, it is totally like, we're adding in all these people, and it's not a Captain America movie. It's an Avenger movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just like Spider-Man and Homecoming is like half Spider-Man, half Iron Man.
Yeah, like this is Iron Man 4 or like 3.5.
Exactly, 3.5. There you go.
And then it's like Spider-Man half.
Now, again, not only favorite characters, but do you have any favorite movies or TV shows, like the ones that you keep coming back to for more?
Yeah, so Thor Ragnarok is something I'll always put on for, like, background noise, or if I'm just like, I want to watch a movie, but I don't feel like deciding what to watch. Something about that film is just, I don't know why. To me, it's like the perfect MCU movie. Like, there's actual plot happening. It makes sense in the universe. Everybody's on their game, and it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But not like shoehorned in funny, like, oh, let's make a joke in a really serious scene. Like, there's just funny moments going on. I mean, the Grandmaster is the best. Like, that whole thing is just great. Like, Get Help, everything. And then WandaVision I've rewatched a couple times because, one, I love Wanda. And two, that's just another good, like, show. And the way it's structured is just fun to rewatch, especially with little hints everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
With, like, Agatha. And once you know what it's building to, it's not Mephisto, sadly. But I know the internet was upset about that.
Oh yeah, that was something where I was following up. Like, I follow a bunch of people on Twitter, and it's like there would be threads, like epically long threads of, okay, it's this and this, and setting up for this, and this is going to happen. And I was like, that's really cool, but let's, the bar is nothing. Like, there is no bar at this point.
Right. Yeah, because I was like, oh, that's the plot they're using, so technically he should be involved because the twins are here, but. I'm like, Disney's not going to do that. Disney will not put the actual devil in. They're not going to do that because, like, marketing it around the world like that causes problems. But I was a bit let down with the with Pietro with the boner jokes that we got instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, snap, like, that's a really, like, I was like, okay, this would be a great way to, like, bring the X-Men in,
right,
like,
that's
starting
what I thought they were doing.
way.
That's a good idea. You're like, oh, okay, she, like, broke something. Okay, let's go with it. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the infinite wisdom, right? Like, at this point, it's like, I trust them.
Yeah.
They haven't really done wrong. I mean, there's a couple movies that I personally don't like, but overall, I've enjoyed what they've given me, so I have my faith in them.
Right. Like, even the bad movies are a good time, for the most part. The first time you watch them, I have some mixed feelings. Like, the Thor, like, series I love, but,
yeah.
They did him dirty.
Yeah, Dark World was the one where I was like, you're the bottom of the barrel for me.
Yeah, and it had, like, there's so many good moments, but, like, the movie as a whole, you're just like, why is this happening? And why is it so dark, like, in film? I know it's called Dark World, but everything looks like it's covered in mud.
Hmm.
Like, they needed to fix that. There were so many issues, and I don't know why, because they had the money at that point. Kind of. Like, they were still finding their footing, but we could get a little better. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, and I was like, okay, this is neat. Like, Jane's going to Asgard, and it'll be like this neat little like Asgard type thing, and but it just didn't happen.
No, it didn't. That's why I'm glad, though, with Love and Thunder, that it looks like, well, we know from spoilers on set, that Jane's there.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, that all turns out good, and it continues what Ragnarok started, like that tone for Thor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because Endgame Thor, I hope they fix that. That was a letdown.
Aw, you didn't like Endgame Thor?
I liked him, but I felt like they reduced him to like a fat joke most of the time.
See, I didn't like that. Like, I didn't like the fat jokes, but I understood like his whole.
Oh, his arc, yeah.
His arc, totally. But the fat jokes they didn't need. Like, if they had laid off of that, like, I think it would have been a little bit more powerful and not as, disrespectful.
That was the thing. I'm like, oh, I want like Thor loving himself again. Like, that was cool. Like, that little moment, like when he gets to see his mom, like, oh, like that was fine. It was like the whole beginning part and how he wasn't really doing anything, and they just kept making a joke out of it. I was like, oh, that's kind of mean. Like, I know the focus is on the people who are leaving, but come on, he's one of the 6.
Exactly, and it feels weird, like, over that 5-year period time, like, you're not really like going to check up on him more than like just talking to Valkyrie or saying like what's up, like
I know you're not best friends, but you're still friends. Or, well, maybe that's just the fandom that made them into friends, because as we saw, they're really not.
Right.
Which is really sad, but I wish they had more of a connection. Obviously not like Cap and Tony, that's not... They can stay apart. But I'm a jerk to Tony Stark. I don't really like him. People hate when I say that.
Me neither. I'm not on Team Tony.
No, he's done so many wrong things, and like Endgame Tony too. I was just like, oh, you have the perfect life. How great. Good for you. And now you don't want to help anybody. I understand it, but it's kind of shitty.
Yep. Like, you're presented with this opportunity, and you're like, get out of my house.
Yeah, you're like, well, my life is great. Go away. Sorry, all of yours suck. Like, what? Yeah. You got lucky.
Yeah.
And then he was the only one that got a funeral, so.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing, because I just watched Black Widow a couple weeks ago, and I was a little bit like disappointed with that, and it's like. Is like, you're like, is she just like randomly buried somewhere and no one comes to see her? Like, what's up with that?
Right, like, where is she? Why didn't we see that? Why wasn't even there like a discussion of that? Her and Vision did a lot. Like, they got the stones. And I know Tony snapped his fingers. Like, good job. But there are other people on the team who also died that you guys knew. And there was a lot, like, I'm surprised they should have included, especially now with like Hawkeye and that plot line they're going with now. They should have included something in Endgame of Clint saying something,
right?
Or like making some memorial, or like him talking to Wanda. Like, they don't even talk about Wanda at the end of Endgame about Vision. Like, that whole thing. Like, we spent how long doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And the TV shows kind of help with that. Maybe they were saving it, but. Endgame's not. It was a great experience to do it, like to see it in theaters with everybody.
Yes.
But it's not the best movie.
No. There's movies that are definitely a lot higher up on the scale of movies.
Mm-hmm. Like, I liked Infinity War way more, even though the whole thing that happened with Loki. Oh, I should tell you. So I saw that, and obviously I cosplay, so I go to movies in costume because I'm extra. But me and my friends went to go see it, and I was in Loki for Infinity War. Like, I had the full headpiece on.
That sounds not like a good option.
It was hard. I couldn't like move. Luckily, like the theater we were in had like walls between the seats, so like my horns weren't blocking anybody.
Okay.
But everybody obviously knew who I was dressed as, even if I was sitting down, because you can kind of see them against the seat.
Yeah.
The movie like starts. We get like the first 15 minutes, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "It's fine, it's fine." So I get through the whole movie. Then the whole like the snap happens, and everybody loses their mind. I'm like, "Good, we're even." Everybody in here is also upset, and we're like getting up to walk out, and this kid. He had to be like he's like 14. He had a tissue box with like Captain America on it. He reaches over like the wall thing because he was in the row behind us, and he looks at me and he's like, "You need these, don't you?" I'm like, "Thank you." So I took like some tissues from him, and then I went to before we left, we went to the bathroom, and I'm washing my hands, and I had like 4 people come up to me and be like, "I'm so sorry," like as if I am the only person upset.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, and I was like, "No, thank you, thank you." I'm like, "I'm ashamed."
Yep. Now, we've got a whole slate, like, because there's the whole last year where there's no, or okay, let me back up. The whole 2020, we were deprived of Marvel due to COVID. We got all the stuff starting 2021,
Yep.
which was wonderful. We have a whole bunch of stuff coming out, 2022 and in the future. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm actually really excited for Multiverse of Madness because 1, I heard Wanda's going to be in it, and 2, I feel like it's going to be a very like turning point for the MCU. What's going to happen? Especially, I haven't seen the newest Spider-Man. Still don't have tickets because I forgot to buy them. That's on me.
Dun.
So I'm like avoiding spoilers. But between what I've seen for the trailers of that, like Doctor Strange is playing a pivotal role, I think, somewhere in this whole thing. So I want to see where that's going. And I'm also really hyped for Love and Thunder because of what I've heard could be happening on the set. And then I always liked Guardians, so the fact Thor's going to be with them should be interesting. I don't know how I feel about Star-Lord, though, so we'll see how that plays out with him in it.
I totally understand. There's definitely like, I liked like Chris Pratt, and then like stuff started coming out, and it's like, oh, okay.
And then not only did he turn into like an ass, but I feel like the script changed Star-Lord into a total asshole. Like in Infinity War and like Endgame, like why did he get? I don't know. Like they made him more cocky.
And
I understand like he wouldn't really understand how to interact with people from Earth anymore because like he's been away so long. But some of the things I'm like, dude, use your brain for like 2 seconds.
Exactly.
And now the whole thing with like Gamora, I don't know how they're gonna write that because I think Zoe's still like contracted.
Yeah.
To play her, so. I just hope they don't do like, oh, this is Gamora, but she doesn't remember any of the character development. Like, I hate that. I don't like any of that.
They must become enemies to lovers once again.
Like, I don't want to deal with that. We did this. It's the same thing with, like, Loki. Because the series is there, and he saw everything, so maybe, I guess that's how they fixed, like, skipping over Ragnarok. Because, like, by the end of Ragnarok, Loki is how Loki should be. Like,
right.
We're in the right frame of mind, and now we erased all of it, but maybe that's like their workaround, so hopefully we don't have to do that again. That's like the one worry that I have with most of the new stuff. It's like we had character development and you guys just erased all of it.
Yeah. Yep, I totally am in agreement with that. And yeah, like I don't have Spider-Man tickets, but by the time this episode comes out, crossing fingers, I'll have seen it.
Yeah, same.
The only one I haven't seen, out of all of them is Eternals, but I think like that one isn't really like necessary at the moment, and I'll wait for it to hit Disney Plus.
Yeah, you can wait. I think like further down the line it should be, because it sets up like more characters for the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can wait definitely for Disney Plus for that. It's a good movie, but it is long. I will warn you. I didn't realize how long it was.
I saw it on the movie listing because I was like, oh, I'll go catch it at like the noon showing on a weekday one day, and then I was like, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared. It doesn't feel, well, at least for me, it didn't feel that long. But I really like right before we sat down, I looked at my phone and I'm like, wait, this movie's how long? And then it started, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
But I did like that. That was different. I do like how the fourth phase is the movies stopped feeling like Marvel movies in a good way. Like Marvel was getting, at least to me, very repetitive
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of the things. Like, oh, snarky joke. Okay, fight scene. Oh, another dumb joke. Like it was getting dumb. Like by Captain Marvel, I could like tell you exactly what was going to happen before seeing the movie. And then I think it was Black Widow. When Black Widow came out, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like a Marvel movie in that sense. Like it follows the same basic plots that they use.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, ooh, I like this. And then Shang-Chi was just amazing, and fight choreography and that was so beautiful. Like he is becoming, I need to like pick up one of his comics because I really did enjoy that, and I really enjoyed him as a character. So I'm excited to see, I guess, him teaming up with people. I don't know how they're going to do this, so I'm curious.
I don't know. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's always one of the things that like I like when they go with, we're going to do a heist movie that just happens to have superheroes in it, right? Like Ant-Man, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't need to be like, okay, we're doing a superhero movie. Do a movie with, you know, wonderful director and like story, but it doesn't need to be, just because it has superheroes in it doesn't mean it needs to be a superhero movie.
Exactly. Like, because especially with the world they created in the MCU, because I know it's like that in the comics, but they are people. Most of them are humans to a degree.
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not most of them. I mean, they can't use the M word. There's no mutants. But yeah, like they have personalities and they have lives outside of superhero stuff. That's why I think the TV shows are working so well, because we get to see that. Except for Loki, that was that's like a different thing. I liked it, but I didn't like some parts of it. So
I gotcha.
I like seeing Tom Hiddleston though, so that was a treat.
And you get to see him even more because there'll be another season.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was kind of mad about. I'm like, damn it, you couldn't just drop all of it now.
That was the one thing I was like, oh, I figured going into it, they'd all be like one-offs, right? And it's like, oh, we're getting a Loki season 2? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, and now we're getting Agatha's getting a show. That wasn't planned though, I heard.
Yeah, I don't think it was planned, and I know Echo from Hawkeye is getting a show too.
Oh, really? Ooh.
And I think there's some kind of spin-off from Shang-Chi. Someone or something is getting a show for that.
I hope it's Morris.
So there's a lot. There's a lot of new shows that they're being like, okay, here, you want Marvel content? We're going to bring you Marvel content.
Mm-hmm. I just hope they don't fall into like the trap of making everything a show and then making the shows like necessary like watches to understand films.
That was my worry when they started announcing stuff. I was like, wait, I'm going to have to watch stuff before I watch movies. Like, that's a lot of content.
Yeah, it is.
But so far, I mean, fingers crossed. Like they did good with the Hawkeye thing. Like if you didn't watch Black Widow, they kind of have like that some of the stuff in there a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, and then what else tied in? Oh, Captain or Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, or yeah, that was it the end credit scene of Black Widow. Those two tie together.
Mm-hmm.
But they were supposed to be switched. Black Widow was supposed to come out before that, so
right. In
a way, that doesn't really depend on it. But I do know for a fact that it did affect people's like understanding of that end credit scene, because I saw Black Widow in theaters, and me and my friends are freaking out because we're like, oh my god, and all these people are like, who is that? And I'm like, oh.
Oh, we know who hasn't watched all the Marvel stuff now.
Yeah, and then like Eternals, when you get to it, there are end credit scenes, so well, I think Disney Plus has like a button you can skip to it now. But those end credit scenes will, if you were in the theater, it points to who knows Marvel.
Right.
So that's always fun.
Well, I think we've got Marvel covered.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dive into a whole nother franchise fandom that has been around, since like the 80s ish,
Yeah.
because I remember playing the first one on the Nintendo because I'm old.
Not
Um,
that old.
I'm relatively old. Um, but we're going to talk about Final Fantasy.
Oh, my love.
I have to ask, like, where did you get your start? Like, what was your first Final Fantasy?
So I like vicariously through just the internet, I knew about Final Fantasy X. And I don't know if this is gonna date me, but I used to be on IMVU, or is it IMVU, that like chat room with like the digital avatars,
Okay.
and I saw outfits from 10, and it was Riku's outfit from 10-2 specifically. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's pretty. So I took that, didn't know what it was, and it was labeled Final Fantasy, and I was like, oh, okay, let me get into this because this sounds cool. Because this was right when I was like in my anime, like hardcore weeb phase, like middle school, that kind of person. And so I'm like, I want to get into this. It's from Japan. Like, oh my god, it's a video game. I could play this. All this stuff. So I Googled it, and I got all the Final Fantasies. Like at the time, I think the newest one. No, at the time, 10 was the newest one, or 10-2 would be out by then. And I was like, oh, it's a series. So my head's like, oh, this is from 10. Let's start at 1. And I was like, oh, I don't have that system. I can't play that. How do I get into this? And I'm like, are there playthroughs or something? Nope, nothing. And I'm like, okay, because it wasn't like that popular to play games on YouTube.
Yeah.
And as I was researching, I saw that there were movies. And I was like, oh, perfect. I'll just watch the movies. I didn't do Spirits Within for some reason. I mean, good thing I didn't, because that movie's not great. That was a movie. But I found Advent Children. And I'm like, oh, I know this guy. It had Cloud on it. I knew who Cloud was. Like, everybody knows who Cloud is, even if you don't know Final Fantasy. So I illegally downloaded Advent Children to my iPod and watched it, like, religiously. That was my introduction to Final Fantasy. The like third or fourth thing in a series, like out of 7. So I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on. So I was trying to piece stuff together. So I had to work like backwards. So I found out 7, kind of. Like I got Advent Children, figured out it was based on 7, read like that wiki, got 7's basic plot, and then was like, wait, how? Is Cloud in 10? No. Figured out how Final Fantasy worked, like, oh, okay, it's a franchise, but they're different games. And then I started realizing, wait a minute, some of these characters look familiar, and I had played Kingdom Hearts. I was like, wait, whoa. I'm like, is that? I'm like, why is your name Squall? No. I'm like, you're Leon. No, that's not his name. Like, all these things started coming together. So it was basically like 7, 10, and then like sprinkling around. I dabbled in 12. 13 came out. Played parts of 13. So mostly 7 is where I live in the Final Fantasy bubble, but I've played or have read up on the stories of most of them. I know like the basics of 1. I own versions of most of them. Not 1 or 2 or 3, because I think they just re-released those. I have the DS versions of 4. I think 5. 6 is great. 9 I don't own, but I have played part of it on an emulator. And then 8 I've played through completely, thank you to the PlayStation Store. 10 I own that, and 10 too. And then I don't play the MMOs, because 11 was basically down by the time I had time to play it. And
right.
14 looks amazing, and it just ended, but I don't have a system that can handle it yet.
Yeah, 14 they just announced, they just had that new DLC that came out, and now they're like, we are so busy that we can't even sell the game. Like we've halted sales because they're just, people have come back to play it
to the servers,
and they don't have server room. Like I have friends that stream it on Twitch, and they're like, well, we'll play another game for like the first hour while we're waiting to like get into the game, essentially.
Yeah, because it's a huge waiting room. Like a bunch of my mutuals play it and love it, because Final Fantasy people find each other.
Yep.
It looks great, but I never touched that one. 15, oh, I love 15. some people hate it, but I don't know. They're just posers. Everybody has to love it.
Yeah, I'm a classic Final Fantasy person, so like I grew up with 1,
Yeah.
and then 4, which is 2 in the United States.
Yeah.
That's like the one where I was like, middle school sleepovers, playing it with friends, and like everything, like all the emotions and drama, and
Yeah.
but then by the time 6 came out, which is 3 in the US, like I had not played it for some reason. I remember playing 7 and getting through like the first disc on the PlayStation, because it's like a 4-disc set or something. It's
Yeah.
like, okay. I started just not having time. I beat 10, but that's really about it. I love 9. I love 9 for its throwback designs on the characters.
9 is so great. I really hope that they remaster it. Everybody's like, oh, I want to do the remake thing with 9. I'm like, nah, I don't think that works. Like 7's remake makes sense because so many people just know 7.
Yeah.
So they can mess with the story and it's not going to like hurt the integrity of it. But 9, don't mess with it. It's great the way it is. Just clean it up so I can play it on my 5.
Oh my gosh, yes, please. Like I would love a remaster.
Yes, and then so more people can find it too, because a lot of people found Final Fantasy through 15. That was a lot of people's first games, because that's why they made it. They made it for beginners, and that's why it's kind of like more forgiving, which is what I like. Like that's why I haven't beaten 6, because I get stuck in the stupidest spots. I know in 4 I'm stuck in like the first battle. I ended up watching somebody else play it. I got stuck like fighting a squid. It's like the first thing, and it kills my healer like straight out, and I'm just like, okay, I'm mad at you. And then 6, I forget where I'm stuck. I have the like the SNES, like the mini one that you plug in.
Yeah,
with all the basically emulator on it. And it's the same game. They did not make it easy.
Nope.
But yeah, like 7 was the first like old one that I was able to play through, and that's because on an emulator you can pause wherever and save wherever you want.
Right.
So like I could save right before a boss battle and I have to climb back up a mountain or something.
Now I've heard the Pixel remakes that they're putting out, the 1 through 6 that they got.
Yeah.
Those they've toned down, that they're a lot easier than the originals.
Ooh, maybe I should try 6 on that then, because I know that one exists.
Now I will say that when I played 9, I got to a point where I got into like this dungeon essentially, and I didn't have enough potions with me.
Oh no!
And I had saved at like an inopportune point, and it's
No!
like I'd have to go back and like do like 5 hours of playing. It's like, nope.
It's always the worst, and I'm horrible with stuff like that. Like sometimes when especially Final Fantasy, because I'm always playing just for the story. Like I just love all the characters. And it was 12. I basically beat a whole section by just running away. It's about like 5 hours into the game, or like maybe it's like 4. I don't grind, but you have to like escape out of a dungeon basically before the other characters catch up to you. And I was just running. Like they would catch up and like trigger a battle, and I'm just running, like getting out. And I think you were supposed to fight them each time. I didn't do that. So now I looked it up, because I looked up a playthrough because I couldn't find like a certain item, and they're like, oh, like right before is like the perfect place to grind, because it's the only place you can grind until like later. And I'm like, oh damn. That's why I liked 8. Like I'm one of the few people I think that likes 8, other than the junctioning system. I hated that. That's stupid. But because of the junctioning system, you can't really grind in 8. Like if you grind, everything levels with you. So I was like, I could be as lazy as I want and still get to play the game.
See, I've never played 8, but I've seen enough like of the. I used to be into like those like anime type cutscene music videos back in the day, and that's how I know 8 is through that.
Well, that's how I found Final Fantasy to a degree. Like I knew those outfits because people would put them in like music videos. And I'm like, ooh, who are they? They look cool. Look at their hair. You know, why does he have 12 belts? We still don't know. That is one thing Square Enix loves to do.
Yes, they love belts and big hair.
Yes, definitely.
Now, when you sent over your thing, your little survey that I send out to everybody, you are very clear that there's a particular character that you love amongst all Final Fantasy characters.
Yes.
And that is a character named Zack, Zack Fair from Final Fantasy VII.
He is my favorite, I think, like all-time character, honestly.
I have to find, or I have to ask, like, what is it about Zach that like draws you to him?
I have no idea because so like obviously, like I said, Advent Children is the first introduction of Final Fantasy. So you would think that I'd be more attached to Cloud, who's the main character of that, instead of Zach, who's in it for I think a total of like maybe 4 minutes. And so something about his story and the way it relates, and like I don't know if you've ever played, watched, or seen anything from Crisis Core. The game is not the best, but the cutscenes are just I bought a PlayStation, a PSP basically. I bought a PSP for him
Hmm.
to buy that game. Um, it's just his personality, and it's not like usually a character type that I would go for. He's a puppy dog. That's what they call him. Like that's not a nickname me or a fandom have given to him. That's literally what like Sephiroth mentions him as. So he's just so like upbeat and like he's so hype. And one, he's beautiful, so there's that too. And his whole thing is just he wants to help people and he wants to be a hero. And even though he struggles, like he has the same struggles as everybody else. And unlike most Final Fantasy main men, he doesn't get like stuck in his head and get like depressive. He just kind of faces it, and it's like a really good motivator. I don't do that a lot. I'm probably one of the people that gets stuck in my own head. But it's nice to see somebody that just like, okay, we'll get it done. Like let's just do it. It's like, okay, you'll get through it. Like, let's go. And then also, I think part of the attachment to him comes from one of my favorite Final Fantasy girls, which is Aerith.
Hmm.
And I've always loved her. Like, I just always thought her design was the most beautiful thing. Her whole story is beautiful. Her as a character is hilarious. So I'm so glad the remake kept that. Because, like, people don't know. Like, they're always like, oh, she's this beautiful angel. I'm like, oh, she's a little shit. You guys just don't know. Like, she's hilarious. And I'm so glad they kept that personality trait in the remake. And her and Zack, like in Crisis Core, like watching that become its own thing, like, and how Zack's rubbed off on Cloud. So like the parts of Cloud that I like are basically Zack.
Right.
And everything, I don't know, between his design and his character, just something really resonated with me, especially because I found him in middle school. Like it was one of the first Final Fantasy games I really sunk my teeth into, especially because it had cutscenes that were dubbed so I could watch them on YouTube. So I didn't have to like scroll and try and read like screen grabs of conversations because it wasn't until 10 that things were voiced. So I was struggling to find easy things for me to watch without owning the game.
Right.
And I don't know, like that whole journey, because Zack's been there from the beginning. Like even in 7, he's there at the very beginning. Spoilers alert, I guess, for a 20-year-old game, but that's on you guys. But yeah, he's the best. And then also maybe it's like partially hipster of me. Not everybody knew who Zack was. So I always took like pride in knowing like, oh, I know this character. You guys should learn this character, and being able to share him with people instead of it being like, oh, here's Cloud. I like him because he's here. Cloud's cool too, though. I'm not shitting on Cloud. He's great. He just needs some therapy, but it's okay.
Now there is a Twitch streamer that I follow before Final Fantasy the remake came out, right? She streamed all the Final Fantasy games,
Oh,
and
wow.
she loves Zack, like, you know, like over the moon. So there'd be times where she is crying on stream about Zack and everything,
Yeah.
and she played through the 7 remake, and she's like, oh, like this is
Yeah.
changing things and changing things and changing things. But she got to the end and she broke down, and she's like, I can't believe this. I
Yep.
cannot believe, like just going wild on her
Mm-hmm.
stream. It was so awesome to see because she has such a love for the character that a lot of people don't know about, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, I totally react the same way. Oh my god. Because I was playing the remake, and I knew something was up, because if you've ever played 7 people, everybody knows, like, Sephiroth doesn't show up for a long time
Hmm.
in 7. He's, like, maybe mentioned, kind of, but not by name. So, like, when Sephiroth starts showing up, like, pretty fast, I'm like, yo, Square, what are you doing? That's weird. Okay, maybe
Hmm.
we're just throwing him in. But then there's little hints. There's little things being sprinkled in, and they weren't doing as many references to Zack in the beginning, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do with him, because he's got to be in it. And I knew before the game came out that Zack was going to be in it because he had a voice actor. I don't know where I saw that, but my Zach obsessed like internet searches. It just knows to give it to me. So I saw that he was casted, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, maybe he's gonna be like in Cloud's head or something, and we're gonna do something. And then we get to the end, and he's standing there, and I'm like, oh my god, I know that ending scene of Crisis Core by heart. Like I can quote it, and he's just standing there, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, they're not gonna make me watch this in 4K. I'm like, are you serious? I was kind of mad. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, oh look at Zach. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I don't want to see this. So I'm still watching it, and then the ending we're expecting does not happen. And I'm like, whoa, what is going on? What is happening? I'm like, what is? Oh, and then I don't know if you've played the remake or the new DLC.
I've only watched my Twitch friends stream it because
Okay.
I'm with video games. I'm very classic. Like I can't do like a lot of like button clicking or action RPG style. So
Yeah.
Final Fantasy for me is to the point now where I just have to watch.
Well, so you've seen it.
Yes.
Okay, because I don't want to ruin anything.
No ruining.
Okay, so I bought a PlayStation 5 to play the DLC. Like I tracked it down just so I could play the DLC when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know about that extra scene at the end. So it was like damn Christmas for me. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, Zach, hi. And then he's standing in front of the church, and I'm like sobbing. I'm like, I don't even care about Sonon or Yuffie or anybody. I'm like bawling because one, he's back. Now he's at the church. He's being all cute. Like they're referencing Crisis Core moment, and I'm just like losing my mind. And then we walk in, and I don't know what they're doing anymore. I thought I had an idea of what was going on, but I don't know how I feel quite yet.
Well, I'm interested to see like how the remake plays out, because like that was the worry for me of, okay, you're going to release like a part of like this really long, epically long game, right?
Yeah.
Like again, original PlayStation was like 4 discs for it. So
it was long originally, so now we're adding to that.
yeah, like, and it's like, how many releases are they going to do for this game? Like, is it going to take 10 years for it to finish?
I hope not. I really hope not. It's going to turn to like Kingdom Hearts. Actually, with the way that ending of the remake was, I'm getting Kingdom Hearts vibes, which I'm like, great. Please don't do that to 7, because 7's already complicated. Like, there's already like 20 games, like 4 books, like there's animes, like there's a mobile game that's out that I still have to play.
Yep.
Like, you guys have too much stuff. Like, I love 7, but give it a break, please. I need a break. But yeah, I don't know what they're planning on doing. And like the first part, the whole thing, I was like, okay, are we stopping at Midgar? Like the end of Midgar, is that where we're ending it? And then I'm thinking like, but where's the second part gonna end? Because you would think, spoiler alert again for the 20th time, the second part should probably end with Aerith. Like
Right.
that death. Like that would make the most sense. I mean, that's a lot to cover. But it would be a larger game, I guess, than the first part.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I don't even know if we're going to get that with the way we're going in the game now. Because it's obvious to me that Aerith knows. Aerith, they're doing the thing that was originally planned. Because Aerith and Sephiroth were supposed to be related in the original series. Like, that's why their hair is the same. Like
Okay.
their bangs, their stupid bangs. Making that wig was not fun. But those dumb bangs are the reason. Like that, because he's like related to Cetra in a way, and like that whole thing. So they're bringing that back. It seems like that they have a connection, because Sephiroth obviously knows what's going to happen, and so does Aerith, because Aerith says certain things to Cloud that she wouldn't have said. And that's the other thing. I wish they put a warning on the box or something to be like, you should maybe look up the original game, or have something on the disc that has like the history of the original game, because a lot of people are playing this and just being like, oh, I don't have to play 7 like from 97, I'll play this.
Right.
Yes, you can, but you're missing a whole other layer, and now you're gonna get like the wrong version. I don't want to say the wrong version of the characters, because everybody's pretty in character. Like, I'm so happy that Nanaki's in it, or Red 13, sorry, that's his name right now. He'll get named later. But like, Kate Sith's in it. And I knew people that didn't play 7, and they're like, what's this cat? And I'm like, I can't tell you? Like, I can, but I wonder if he'll be Scottish for some reason. Because they did that in Advent Children. But yeah, there's like little things that they're hinting at that I'm not sure anymore if we're going to kill Aerith. Because at the final battle, of the remake. It's been a little while since I played the last battle, but they're each fighting the shadows, like those shadow creatures. If
Yeah.
you look at them and if you look at their stats, they're fighting the future versions of themselves.
Oh my goodness, I did not know that.
Yeah, if you look, one is Barrett, one is Tifa, one is Aerith. It depends who you pick in your party who shows up. And one is Cloud. And the weapons they use and the materia they use are usually what's like the natural build for those characters. And they're the levels, well, like friendly version of the levels of what they were at the end of 7. And there's certain moves they have that are very, very reminiscent to like the limit breaks of the original game.
You've just blown my mind.
Yeah, so I love 7 and I love the theories around the remake. So, and I've replayed the remake a lot. So, but yeah, there's like that. So they're fighting their future, basically their planned future selves to break the timeline. And that's why I think Sephiroth doesn't want obviously he doesn't want the original timeline to play out because he gets defeated by Advent Children.
Right.
And he promised in Advent Children, I will never be a memory. And he mentions something about memories to Cloud when they're like in like that weird cosmic zone. He mentions that to him. So we know that he knows. And Cloud slightly knows. But the thing with Zack is a different timeline. Like they're not in the same realm. Like the scene with like Zack with Biggs and Wedge possibly being alive, like that whole thing is a different timeline. If you look in the background, the houses are slightly different. The dog, the avalanche dog, is a different breed. It's like a branching timeline. So Sephiroth has done something with the timeline. So I think the way the remake's going to go is they're keeping us on our toes by having that be an option. But somehow I hope they're going to like push us, like for some reason, we're going to have to make the hard choice. Like, okay, maybe we get to save Aerith, but we're going to have to go back and it has to go back to how it was.
Right.
Because she has to die. And I love her. But if they keep her alive, I'm going to be kind of mad. Same with Zack. Like, I love Zack and I love seeing him thrive. He should live. He should have lived. He deserved it. But Zack needs to die. Zack needs to die for Cloud to become who Cloud needs to become. And Aerith needs to die again for Cloud's development. Like, I'm sorry, but like Cloud's the main character. He needs this push to go. And I just hope that they do that and they're not like afraid. Because I feel like, well, 15 was a heartbreaker too. So maybe they're not afraid of ripping our souls out. But I think they know everybody's expecting Aerith to die. So they want to like pull the rug out from under us and change something. Like, right. I don't know. I gotta see also, like, when they bring Vincent in, because, again, at the end of the DLC, there's a mansion. I think I know what mansion that's supposed to be, because Vincent would be the next one you meet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of, or if you skip Vincent, then it's Yuffie, but I don't think they're gonna make them skippable. Like you.
Yeah, I think they'll just, get everybody.
Yeah, so I gotta see if they bring Vincent in and they start bringing up his past, because that's important, and that ties into the DLC. Like, they're bringing every weird, like, spin-off from 7 in. Like, we have Dirge Suberus and Crisis Core references everywhere. Characters from Dirge are showing up. Like, Nero and... Oh, I forgot the other guy's name. Oh my god. I didn't like Dirge. It was a shooter, so... It was not fun. But I'm, like, worried. And also because 7's my favorite Final Fantasy. So I'm kind of like, oh, I love seeing them updated graphics. And I'm like, please don't mess it up because it took me this long to figure out what the hell was going on.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So I'm scared, but... And I also don't want it to become like Kingdom Hearts. I also love Kingdom Hearts, but I would like to be alive to see the end of the series. We thought 3 was done. It's not. I thought part 1 would just lead into part 2, part 3 maybe be done, but it sounded like it's going to go on for like 8 parts.
500 billion parts.
Mm-hmm. Because we know how Square Enix loves to drag things out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it is. I could go on about the remake for hours. I'm not gonna tell you all my theories. There are a lot.
Well, we'll skip to something that's not even close. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, you might surprise me with this next conversation topic. So you're into something that I don't really get the chance to talk to people about because it's not something, it's not something that they tell me about. But you're into like doll slash toy collecting.
Yes, I have a very large collection of dolls, toys, and by toys I mean more like doll-like toys or
Right.
figures, like that kind of. I'm not collecting baby toys. They don't interest me. I'm sure the babies love them, but they're not for me. But yeah, it's mostly dolls, or figures. I don't really have statues. I don't like statues. I like things that have joints. Because I used to, before I got into cosplay. Hope to God nobody ever finds my Flickr account. They won't because the usernames are different. Huh. Some of my friends know and they can blackmail me. Nothing too embarrassing. But I did doll photography. Um, Mostly of like collectible dolls. BJDs is what really sparked my interest. Like I always was into like growing up. Obviously, I played with like Bratz, Barbies, my
Right.
scene
Right.
dolls. Like that. I love that. That was always fun. And then as I got older, it was more of like I like dressing them up and setting them up and like, oh, they look great here and things like that and posing them. And then I saw, how did I find it? Actually, it's how I found cosplay too. Um, my obsession with anime has led me to more doll collecting. But I was looking up characters from Naruto because I was explaining to my friend the plot of Naruto, and I typed in something. I think it was like Sakura or one of the girls, and I got one a cosplayer, so that's where I found out what cosplay was, and two, I saw somebody had made a custom doll of Sakura, and it was an Obitsu, and Obitsu dolls are like they're plastic, and they're custom dolls, so it's like a body, a head, you paint the head, you root the hair, that kind of thing. I was like,
Hmm.
oh my god, that doll looks so cool, I want to buy it, because I'm used to like you go to the store, you buy the doll. Learned you how to make it, and from there it led to BJDs, which are resin dolls. I don't know how much you know about dolls, but BJDs stand for ball jointed dolls, and
Okay.
they're hell of like expensive, especially when I was like 12. The
Right. Right.
cheapest one I could find is like almost $200, and there's no clothes, there's no eyes, there's no wig, like it's just a body.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, okay. So like that was like a dream. And in the meantime, obviously, I still collected other dolls. Like if I liked a Barbie, like okay, she's going on my shelf. I have glass dolls. Like I've always collected dolls. Um, and eventually, I found pull-up dolls, Pullip, and they were similar to BGDs, kind of. They're made out of plastic, uh, like a Barbie, kind of, and they're from Japan as well. Well, I mean, BGDs can be from anywhere, but most of them were from Japan that I was looking at. And so the one I saw I could afford, she was $88. They went up in price since then. But I bought her, and the thing about pull-up dolls, and this freaked people out too, is they have a mechanism on the back of their head, so you can move their eyes, and they blink. You can make them blink and wink and close their eyes while standing up. There's like buttons on the back. So I collected those for a little bit because it's all I could kind of afford, and I love them. They're beautiful, and there was like a whole like pull-up doll community on Flickr, so I made friends through that. And then those guys started getting BJDs, and I was like, oh shit, I really want one of those. Like I really, really wanted one of those. And I kept trying to like while I wanted the BJD, I couldn't afford it, so I would always keep an eye out like at Toys R Us and Target and Walmart. Just dolls that caught my eye that I thought looked cool that reminded me of BJDs, like maybe they had inset eyes. So I have a bunch of dolls just like randomly. And that turned into me collecting Playline dolls. So like a Playline doll is like a Barbie. Not collectible ones, just the ones you find in stores, that you're
Okay.
supposed to play with. That's what Playline is. And that turned into me like, okay, collecting one-offs of Playline dolls that I just thought looked cool. So like, okay, I have this brat, but now what is this new line? Like, there was like a Harajuku line. I can't remember what they were called. I have them stored somewhere. But I bought like all of them because they were different. Like these weird doll lines that don't exist anymore that had like one cycle of dolls and then that was it. And I really liked hunting for them, so that was fun and that satisfied me for a little bit. And then 2010, well, it's like 2009. Yeah, it was like the end of 2009, early 2010 maybe. I finally convinced my mother to like chip in. I was like, I've been saving, give me some money. which is great coming out of like a recession. Like, yes, give me money to buy some plastic. But I was able to convince her to chip in so I could get my first BJD.
Okay.
And I got a full set. So how do I explain this? So in the BJD world, you usually just buy, it's a la carte, you buy the doll, then you gotta buy the eyes separate, the wig separate, then it's all clothes. If you buy a full set, you get what the doll is pictured in on the site. So everything you see, you're getting. Those eyes, that wig, that outfit, those shoes. And that's usually a better deal. So I got him full set, everything. So I didn't have to buy extra clothes. I still did, but and I got him home and I finally have him. He was not that this will make any sense to you. He was a Doll Zone. Oh shit, what was his? I'm trying to remember what his name was. His mold name. Oh, Mo 3. He was the third version of the Mo face shape, like that full set. And
Okay.
I still have him. He's an MSD size, which is he's like 45. He's actually really tall. He's 47 centimeters tall. They're like the medium size ones. A lot of them are SD size and they're big. They're gigantic. I did not have room for them. And then there's little baby ones. So I got him and I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then it started a thing of me buying more. So I bought him, loved taking pictures with him, took him places. He was like my little muse. If anybody finds these pictures, they aren't great. So don't bother. They are not great. There's a smudge on my lens. I can see the smudge in the picture. But I had so much fun with that. And while that was going on, I was like really into like posing, and I had like a light box. And so I started marrying that with like my Final Fantasy obsession, and I found figures from Advent Children, the Play Arts figures, which
Okay.
I collect now, obviously. Well, obviously, if you can see my collection. So I started collecting those, and that started my Final Fantasy collection. And then I was like, wait, there's anime figures? Like, oh my god, so I started getting those. And then soon after I got I named him Cirrus. Soon after I got Cirrus, I was in Toys R Us because I always look there for props and other doll things, just seeing what they have because dolls are just cool to me.
Yeah.
I saw Monster High when they like first went on the shelves, and I don't know if you're familiar with Monster High, but it's a doll line.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the dolls of those. Yep.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh my god, I love horror films. I love monsters and creatures, and these dolls are so cool. And they were fully jointed, which was a newer thing at the time for Playline. And they were relatively affordable, and they looked great. And I was like, oh my god, I need these. Like, this is up my alley. So I bought one, opened it. It was Frankie. Fell in love. So that started a whole thing. So I own every single Monster High doll, like the character, like at least one of each character that was ever released, except for I think 3 that were Comic-Con exclusives because I could not get my hands on them.
Right.
Up until the reboot, like when they did the soft reboot for the parents, I have all of them. Like that's like that was those were the dolls I hunted for. Like that is a thrill that I don't think people understand. And now I sound creepy, like I'm stalking children or something. I will not push a kid out of the way for a doll, but I will wait till they move and then grab it from them. But yeah, like that was like a whole fun thing for Playline. And then while that was going on, the hunt, like the doll hunt, I fell into that community, and I got more into collecting Disney dolls. Like, I always collected the Playline Disney dolls because that was just something I liked. But the collectible Disney dolls, I have too many of those. And like from there, I was just like in a collecting mood. So eventually, I don't even know how many dolls I have in total. If you're thinking of that as a question, it's probably like 800.
Woo!
Probably more. I have drawers filled with dolls, like they're stored, and then shelves. Like the Monster Highs are on shelves. I have 2 doll houses that are full. They have doors on them, so they're closed. And then any like 12-inch dolls, they're in their own shelving unit. The BJDs are all under my bed because BJDs are made out of resin, so they gotta stay out of the sunlight. And I have
Gotcha.
eight of those, and then 2 vinyl dolls. Again, leading into my Anime obsession. I have a Miku doll that I got this year because I'm obsessed. And oh yeah, there's not a room in my house I think that doesn't have like a doll somewhere because there's a lot, or a figure. Because yeah, like I have one Hot Toys. I'm not that fancy. My dolls go to the resident children, not the figures. But well, maybe a bit of the figures. The Final Fantasy boys end up being a lot of money.
Yeah. Now, do you have one figure overall? Like, is there one that you're like, this is my figure. This is the one that I love the most.
I'm gonna sound like a crazed person who's obsessed. My Zack Fair figure.
Obsessed? Nah.
Not at all. No, I lost my mind when they finally released him because he didn't come out until because Play Arts Kai is the better line. So anybody who ever looks at Final Fantasy figures, Play Arts Kai is the one you want.
Yep.
Play Arts wasn't bad, but my Play Arts are like, I don't want to say they're leaking. There's something with the plastic. There's like a weird sheen on them and the glue's coming off. But that's why I was like, ugh. But he never was made in that, even when Crisis Core came out. So it was like, maybe like 4 years ago? About? Because it was after 15 came out. And that's 5 years old. So 4 years ago, he was like on pre-order. I pre-ordered him the minute it dropped. And he came in, and I'm just so excited. Like, he looks so great on my shelf. He stands like the cloud. Either him or... I'm trying to see what other figure... My Loki figure is really nice. That's my first Hot Toys, and the only Hot Toys I own, because I can somehow justify spending $300, $400, $600 on a doll, like a BJD, but they're big. Like, there's, like, something substantial with that. But spending $300 on a Hot Toy, I can't. Like, those figures, they're so detailed, but I just can't. But I found this Loki, he was on sale. It's Loki from Dark World, which, of course, it's the worst Thor movie. He's probably my other favorite, just because I've waited so long for a Hot Toy, and they look great. They really do. It's creepy. It looks like I have Tom Hiddleston on my shelf. But yeah, like, those two are my favorite figures. I can't pick a favorite doll, I don't think.
That's okay.
Yeah, because it's hard, because it's, like, so many different versions. Like, I could tell you, oh, this is my favorite Monster High doll. This is my favorite... No, maybe not. The favorite collectible Disney doll. That one's hard, too. But yeah, I have too many things. I waste my money on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have some like figures in my my Amazon wish list. Most of them aren't even sold anymore. Like they're done and discontinued, and I'll if I ever want them, I'll have to like track them down.
Yeah.
But it's like I'd love to have some figures. I just don't have like any space to put them, and then they're so expensive. Like they're all like about $200-ish retail, and since they're not retail anymore, it's like definitely more than that.
Oh, you're getting scalped at that point. That's why, like, part of me I think is so stuck on, like, I usually don't buy statues. Like, if I have anything that's a statue, it's either a gift or I want it in an arcade. Everything I have that I buy, usually my rules, like, they have to have joints. Because something about, like, if they have joints, I can move them and it justifies the price.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I can pose them. Like, if I don't really take pictures anymore of them, which is sad, because I totally could. But, yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm looking right at my shelf, that's why. Yeah, not a lot of statues. Most of my statues are from, like, round one, because I was just playing, like, UFO catchers the whole time. Spent way too much to win certain figures. Like, Tanjiro over here probably cost me, like, $30, and I think he's, like, a $20 figure.
I understand that. I used to when I lived in Japan, I'd go to the like the UFO catcher areas, and they always had it like set up so you weren't spending too much money, but there's times I was like, I want this, and Lord knows I spent a lot of money trying to get certain like stuffed animal plushies, or like I won my Game Boy Advance over there, like
cool.
I was like, yeah, like I got that. It's like, okay, but I'm sure I could have just bought one. It would have been a little bit easier, but thrill of the win.
Oh my god, just if you put like toys of any kind in like a vending machine or like a UFO catchers, I'm just sucked in. I am not leaving that until I get that item. There's something about it. It's just like the child in me. Like, one, it's a toy, I want it. Two, I want to win it. Like, I know my Asuka Q Posket, and Q Poskets are cheap. figures. They're nice, but they're very affordable. I think they mostly, the highest I've ever seen one retail was like $25.
Yeah.
This thing, we must have spent, it was a UFO one that like pushed, but like the way they had it turned, it was like really hard to get it out at this round one. I think because they only had a few left. I don't know. But we spent, and by we, I mean me and my friends, because it was Asuka and Ray, who me and my friend Bracy cosplay as. And so we're like, oh, we need them. Like, let's do it. We refilled our cards twice. And I know for a fact I had $100 to start with. I think I refilled it with 50. So I don't want to think about how much money I spent to get this cute basket that I could have went on Amazon and probably got for like a fraction of the price. But I won that. I won her, and there were people watching, and we got cheered. So I was like, okay, it was worth it.
I totally get it. I'm right there with you, and I know my kids sometimes are too, because they'll be like, we're trying to win this, we're trying to win the thing, and it's like, but listen. It's not really going to work out. It's too like usually the plushes are like they push them in and you're just not getting it.
Oh yeah, I'm like an expert when it comes to looking to see which ones are like able to be pulled, because that's how the machines are set up. They don't want you to win, or like you can tell if it's a payout machine. That's why I'm glad round one came to the States, because their stuff is actually meant so you could win it, because that's like their philosophy. Like obviously they're there to make money, but
right.
It's winnable. It's not like going to like an arcade on the boardwalk where you know that stuff's packed in there. Like there's no way you couldn't get that out with your hand. That little crane that doesn't close is not coming out. So like sometimes I've gotten to the point where I can talk myself out of it. If I can find it online, I won't be heartbroken if I don't win it in like 10 tries. Right. But the thing is, if I get close in 10 tries, now I'm going to stay.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like the principle of the thing. But I mean, if they ever put like play arts in anything, like as those machines, oh god. Even if I don't like the character. I mean, I like every character I own a play arts figure of. Mostly. But I've bought them just for like the thrill of buying one at a con. Which is terrible.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot.
Now, Morgan, obviously I stumbled across you on Instagram, and while we have been talking, I have found the original picture that was the summoning. Like, so somebody must have shared it, because it's the first one I found that I liked it, and I was like, okay, that's the picture. And you're a cosplayer, and the cosplay that somebody shared was Jessie from Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Back in 2020, September 2020 is when you posted it, and that is the first picture that I have been able to verify that I liked it, and I was like, okay, that's it.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, Jessie, she was a cos test. She is literally just stuff from my closet, because I fell in love with Jessie. I always thought she was cool, but then the remake, and I was like, oh, they really upped their game with Jessie. Like I really like her, and part of my brain was still stuck in was it Final Fantasy VII, like the abridged version? That Jessie, which is way different. But yeah, that is, I think, it's my Jupiter wig, like a bandana thing. I don't know where I got that. And then a blue turtleneck shirt, which I've used also for Todoroki now. And that's all it was. I did have a mesh shirt that I used for like my ninjas, but it looks stupid on there. So, but I still think part of me still wants to fully cosplay Jessie. The thing that stops me is her breastplate. I don't know how. I don't want to make that, and then buying it, I know it's just not gonna fit. It's gonna look weird. So maybe the remake will give me like the second part if it comes out and we get Jessie again for some reason. Get rid of her boob plate. I know it's part of her character, but give me a break. Oh my god.
Exactly. How did you originally get into cosplay? What is your origin story?
So again, that pulls from the story with the dolls, like the BJDs, like finding those. I looked up those Naruto characters to show my friend. I was at her house. We were in her computer room. Again, that's probably dating me. And we were on Google Images, and I'm scrolling down, and I saw an Ino cosplayer. I'm pretty sure it was an Ino cosplayer. I have no idea who this cosplayer was. It was on DeviantArt. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. It's a Halloween costume. Because all I really knew you could dress up as was during Halloween.
Right.
And I don't know how I saved it, or if I like just remembered the search and I went home and found it that way. But when I got home, I found that post again on DeviantArt, and it was like tagged, or the title, something in it said cosplay, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. What does that mean? So I Googled it, and I found out what cosplay was, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Oh my god, you can dress up as these anime characters, which I was obsessed with. I was like, oh my god, that is the coolest thing. I didn't know you could do this. Oh my god, there's places to go, and that's how I learned about conventions. And then my go-to place to hang out when I was on the internet was YouTube. Other than, shady chat rooms. So I went on YouTube and I typed in cosplay. And I saw like the convention vlogs, but one of the first things I saw was AC Paradise, their YouTube channel. And they would have all the masquerade skits. And I would just watch for hours. Masquerade skits of cosplayers. And I thought they were the coolest people. Like, the fact that you're dressing up and now you're acting like these characters and people are cool with it and you can interact with other people who like these things and you can meet these people. Oh my god. So, it was insane. And I went to school, like, after I've done all this research, basically, and told my other friends who were also little nerds in the making, and showed them, and I'm like, we should do this. And we're like, yeah, let's do this. And so, thank God none of these things have ever seen the light of day, because I think the footage has gotten deleted, and I'm embarrassing myself by sharing it. But we would plan out our own, like, cosplay music videos, or, like, the little skits that people used to do. I don't think people do it that much anymore. Well, TikTok's kind of brought it back. But, and we would be these characters, and we're like, oh, we're gonna do these people. And we would just, like, act like we were gonna cosplay them, but none of us had money. We were like 12. And so, like, we weren't gonna buy anything. And again, at the time, you can't just go online and buy a costume. You would have to make it or piece it together, or like really know how to shop online at that time. Finding a wig wasn't as easy as it is now, so there was no wigs. And we would just like mess around and like be like, oh yeah, we could be cosplayers, and just it be in the back of our minds. And then one of the first cosplay things, I don't really count it as my first because I don't really count it as much. I really didn't try. But me and my friend from middle school, our local FYE in our mall was having like a cosplay day, like an anime / cosplay day. I forget why they were doing that. It must have been a promotion with like the stores. But one of the days, and it was a Saturday, was you could cosplay. Like, come in and cosplay. There's a costume competition. And me and my friend were like, oh my god, we're gonna go. We're gonna win. There was no way we were gonna win. It was bad. So we decided to do Itachi and Deidara. And Deidara was like one of my first like crushes, I guess, in like anime form. So, from Naruto. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And we don't have anything. So my friend's like, I'm gonna wear sunglasses. I don't know why. Itachi doesn't wear sunglasses. So she's like, I'm gonna wear sunglasses. She had long black hair. So she's like, okay, my hair works. And I'm like, cool, your hair works. And then she drew like the lines on her face that he had. And she showed up in like sandals, because the ninjas wear sandals.
Yep,
and like all black. We're like, okay, the rule's like wear all black because we don't have the cloaks, but they wear black. So okay. So she did that. I show up. Deidara's blonde. My natural hair color is brown. And he's got like that long piece of hair in his face. So I just like badly straightened my hair into my face, pulled it up in the half ponytail. So I just look like I don't know how to do my hair. And I have glasses. I didn't have contacts yet. So I'm wearing glasses. He doesn't wear glasses, but I can't see without mine. So it's like, whatever. I'm like, I'll just pretend it's like his eye. Okay, go for it, little Morgan. And then I had a black men's shirt because it was the only one I could find from Michael's, because I was going to iron on the Akatsuki cloud to like the top.
Yeah.
And make like a shirt so like people knew who I was, like they could guess. It didn't work. It wouldn't iron on. I did something wrong. I think I did it backwards. I don't know. I was stupid. And so I took Velcro and Velcroed it, like the printed out piece of paper, like the iron on piece of paper. I Velcroed it to my shirt because it wouldn't stay. And we got there and we were like doing our makeup in the like FYE to get ready for the competition. And I was trying to like draw with like shitty like Claire's eyeshadow. I doubt you've ever used it, but if you ever have, it's chalk. There's no color. So I'm trying to
Okay.
make his little like eye thing. If you know the character at all, he's like this mechanical eye, and I'm
Oh yeah.
trying to like draw it on with this. It's not working. I'm like, so I just look like I got punched in my eye. Like it's the funniest thing. I'm in flip flops as well because ninja. And we show up and we think we're cool, and like everybody there was like the kindest person. Like, if I wish I knew who these cosplayers were, and I wonder if they're still in the scene, because you could have been so mean to me. You should have been mean to me. Like, oh my god, I cringe at myself. But we show up. The lady who works at FYE at the time was hosting it, and she was dressed as somebody from Bleach. I'm not sure who. I never got past the second season of Bleach, so it was somebody further down. But she looked great. She had like an actual costume. And then these two cosplayers showed up. One was Luffy, and one was dressed as Misty, and they were great. Like, one had a wig, and it was like she was bound. It was really cool, and I didn't know that you could do that because like I was wearing like 2 sports bras trying to like flatten my chest, which you don't do. Never do that. And they were just really kind because I was talking to my friend. I'm like, I don't know how to do this eye. I thought the makeup was going to work. It didn't work. She came over and she's like, oh, you can use clay and then do this thing and get a bingo chip to make the little eyepiece. And to this day, that is like great advice still. Like, that would work now. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm just like in awe because like, wow, they look like the anime characters. And then somebody else came in, and it was a mom and her daughter. And she was dressed as Sora. And the wig was like immaculate. She didn't wear it. She had it on her hand and was going to put it on for like a picture. And her daughter was Toru from Fruits Basket. And she was perfect. She was like 5. She was killing it. I wonder if she still cosplays, honestly. And they were just so cool. And then from that, we like were being little nerds and listening to their conversations. And they were talking about like Otakon. Like, are you going to Otakon this year? Because that was in Baltimore at the time, so it was relatively close. And I just remember like that sticking in my head, and forever I'd be like, oh yeah, Otakon's coming out. Like, every year I knew, like, oh okay, because that was the last time I touched cosplay until I really got into it, which was after I graduated college, because I had money now.
Right.
I was like, I have a job. I'm like, I have a job. You know what? I'm an adult, because basically Halloween stopped being enough for me and my friends, because we kept getting more and more intense for Halloween. Like, we did plug suits for Halloween. We went to the Renaissance Fair in Evangelion. Like, who does that? Us. There's pictures of that. Oh god. But yeah, like, there wasn't enough, and like Game of Thrones had come out, and we did that as a Halloween thing, and it was fun to be a group and like to play as these characters and like kind of a little bit of role play in there. And I was like, oh wait a minute, this is cosplay. And then ZenkaiCon, I got an ad on Facebook, or somebody talked about it on Facebook, and ZenkaiCon is only like maybe a little under 2 hours from us. And I asked my friends, I was like, hey, we have these Game of Thrones costumes from Halloween. My other friend had Luca from Vocaloid. And I was like, we have these costumes. Do you guys want to go to a con? We can go to a con. We're adults. We can get ourselves there. Like, we can drive. We have money. Like, nobody can stop us. I mean, well, somebody can stop us. And they were like, yeah, let's do it, because we've never done it. And we were looking for new things to do, because once you're out of college, there's not a lot of events planned for you anymore.
Right.
So we go to ZenkaiCon, and just I wish I could relive that day. That was the best thing. Just going to a convention and seeing so many like-minded people, because like, when I was in middle school, it wasn't cool to like anime, and I didn't really care. And people weren't mean about it. Well, maybe they were. They weren't mean to my face about liking anime or liking video games or being really into these stories. Like, if it wasn't on mainstream TV, people really didn't care. And it was kind of like, oh, you're one of those people. Mm.
Yep.
And seeing a whole place, a whole convention center with adults, like full-on adults, because I was an adult too, who were like fans of the things that I have always loved, and I had like preened over in my bedroom, like watching AMVs. And there was like a whole section just for AMVs, like this thing that I thought was this weird niche part of the internet. There's people out here talking about it. There were discussions about theories and fandoms. The artist alley, like, oh my god, I've never seen fan art you could buy until then, which is weird to think about nowadays, but like, it was the coolest thing. And then just being able to look around and see people in costumes. That was the, oh my God, I complimented so many people because I was like, oh my God, I know who you are. Like, oh my God, I love that character too. And then people were stopping me and I looked like shit. Like, I was Daenerys and I have a picture. I don't know who took it. It's a haul shot. And I think it's my first haul shot ever. And I wish I could figure out who took it. But it is, but people would stop other people just to be like, okay, get a picture, because they love that character too. And I loved, it was such an easy way to get to talk to people that wasn't in a school setting. Because that was the other thing. Like, it's hard to make friends as an adult.
Yes.
Like, once you're out of, like, forced collaboration, you're like, oh, okay. And, like, at work, you make friends, because you're not forced to, but kind of are. So, like, that was a thing, and I was like, oh, I'm in love. I love this. I have to do this. And my other two friends, they were kind of into it, too. I was like, okay. And then, so ZenkaiCon was in, I think, April that year. March or April, because that's usually when it is. And then Otakon was coming up. And I was like, we had fun at this. And my one friend didn't get to go because she was at college at the time. And I think she had like finals or something was going on that she couldn't leave campus that weekend. And she's like, I want to go to a con because she's just as much as a nerd as us. And I'm like, okay, well, I remember these girls talking about Otakon. Let me look it up and see where it is. Because I know it's around here because they were talking about it from our mall like years ago. So I looked it up, and it was the first year that Otakon had moved to DC, and I was like, oh shit, it's kind of far. I'm like, well, again, we're adults. We can drive
We're adults,
there.
we can do whatever we want.
We can get a hotel room. Like, I was like, why don't we make it like a vacation? Because we were doing like little trips to the beach before.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we make this like our vacation? Let's go to DC. It's Friday through Sunday. We can get badges. Like, look, oh my God, let's order badges. Oh my God, they mail them? That's so cool. And I was like, okay, it's a huge con. And I was like, all right, we need costumes. Let's get costumes. So my dumb ass is like, oh yeah, 15 had just come out, Final Fantasy 15. And I was like, I don't have a lot of money, so let me not buy any extra wigs. So what can I do with my hair? Again, me with thinking I can use my hair for things. It works, but it's a lot of work. I've learned.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do Gladio. My friend really wanted to do Ignis, but she was able to figure out wigs and stuff. So she was able to do that. So I'm like, let's do the alternate outfits. So I did Gladio from Final Fantasy 15 with body paint. So like one of the first cosplays I've ever taken to a con. Body paint. Tattoos. That was going to be our Saturday. Friday, we got there on Friday and changed in the bathroom at the convention center into, like, me and my one friend did Rey and Asuka from Evangelion. So those plug suits that we wore to Ren Fair, we wore those to Otakon. My wig is disgusting. I don't think there's any pictures of that old wig on my Instagram, but I know if anybody ever buys, I don't know what issue it is, of Cosplay Realm, they had like a timeline issue where you showed your growth. So I used that because this costume has stayed with me the whole time. And there's a really shitty picture of that in there. And we wore that, and everybody tried. My other friend was Ray. Or no, the first day she didn't wear anything because she drove and she didn't want to like deal with it and just wanted to explore. Right. It was her first con ever, and Otakon's big, so it was overwhelming. And we walked around, and people, again, still stopped us. And to this day, I do not know why. Because I did not look good enough to stop, but I appreciate it. And that's what I love about conventions, because nobody cares. Nobody really cares how well you look. Like, social media tries to make it sound like, oh, you gotta look perfect. Like, somebody's gonna call you out for having the wrong eyelashes on or something. No. Real con people will not do that. It's pretty friendly, at least to your face. And, yeah, we were hooked, and then that was the first day, and that was like the first big con, and I was like, oh my God, 3 days of this? And then the second day was the Final Fantasy shoot, and to this day, I am still friends with most of the people that I met at that shoot. I think you actually did an interview with probably the first person I had ever walked up to confidently and complimented their cosplay and asked for a picture.
Who's that?
Double Trouble Cosplay.
Yeah, I had them on for 2021. I got to talk with Liv and Liz.
Yeah, both of them were there, and at the Final Fantasy shoot, and we were all just gushing over 15 because that's what we were all in. Oh, well, most of us were in, and it was just like they're still my friends today. Like I love seeing them at conventions. It's like that's the one thing that always stick to me is the people. Like we got invited to go out to eat. Like we're brand new to the con scene, and people we had like a whole group, a little group of people that went of Final Fantasy cosplayers and friends of Final Fantasy, and made like lasting friendships. And then the last day, like so many people were so was Belle, and Belle is my first picture on Instagram, and I will never remove like the first couple pictures I ever did because I curate a little bit, but you got to remember where you started.
Exactly.
And what fandoms you love, and like somebody will find it. But it's just it's been so awesome, and I just love it's the people. That's why I stick with it. Also, I really like it's a great creative outlet, and it's just fun to be a character. It's something I've always wanted to do since I was like 12, and now I'm like that person. Like it's so weird. And even now I'm finding people like just the other day, one of my friends on Twitter shared an old cosplay of hers and then was like, "Oh, by the way, me and my friends won an award at whatever con's masquerade for this skit from this costume." She shared the skit. It was one of the ones I would watch when I was in middle school. Like,
oh my goodness.
One of those people, and I was like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, I know this skit. I'm like, you're in this? And I'm like, that's amazing. And then, like, one of her friends who's in the skit, because they say, like, the usernames, was one of the first, like, YouTube channels I subscribed to, and they were a cosplayer, and they're still cosplaying, I'm pretty sure. It's just this crazy, like, small world, and it's just so, it's kind of come full circle, and I'm just so happy that I found it because I've met so many amazing people, and it's great to share fandoms and like ideas and theories, and just so many things have come out, so many cool opportunities just to meet people. It's the coolest thing. Like, I wish more people would cosplay. I think maybe the world would be a better place. Not the competitive part where people are like comparing who's better online. That's stupid. That's not cosplay. That's you guys are just trying to be influencers, and I mean, you can be an influencer. I'm not saying that's like a bad thing. Like, that's what you want, go for it, but don't shit on other people.
Right, exactly. Now, out of the years that you've been doing cosplay,
yeah,
how do you choose who you're doing? Is it more that you connect with the character, or are you looking at like the outfit and you're like, I want to do that, or mixture of both? Like, where do you land in your picking of the character?
So most of my cosplays are like characters that I've always been attached to. Like the first one I ever made was Aerith, and I knew going into cosplay, like, okay, if I'm able to do this, and once I figured out, okay, yes, I can cosplay. Oh, I can buy stuff. I knew I wanted to try and make her because I have like an attachment. So most of the characters I have somewhat of an attachment to. Not always, the closet cosplays aren't always like that. Those ones are more, that character looks really cool. I really love this series. I want to show my love for this series, and this is how I show my love. Because I can't draw. And I don't write fan fiction because I'm too picky with my writing. So this is my way to express my side of the fandom. So that's where those come from. So like every character I've done, I have had a deep connection with, either to the character or like the storyline of the character or the series as a whole, and this is the character's design that I like the most. So I never really pick cosplays because like, oh, that character looks cool and I know nothing about them. I always want to have some kind of connection because I feel like if I don't, it's not going to come off well. Like to me, I can tell like, oh, I don't like this character. Like, oh, you don't like it. Like, I feel like you could see that. Like, oh, you're just cosplaying it because it's popular or something. Like, I don't do that. Yeah. But some versions of characters I do pick based on like their clothes. Like, My Hero Academia. I picked Bakugo first. One, because he's hilarious to me and I thought he was funny. And two, I liked his color scheme. And I loved his hero costume. Like, I want giant grenades on my hands. That looks like fun. So that's why I picked him over maybe some other people that, well, no, nobody was really higher up at the time than he came out for me. But like, I also did like Todoroki, like as a character. But Bakugo won me over because of his character design. So usually that's how I go. It's like, okay, I got into this series. I really, really like this series. I feel like I want to cosplay from it. Like something's resonating. who do I want to pick? So it usually just ends up like that, and then it goes off the looks. If like I just love the series as a whole, and sometimes it's like at ease as well of who's easier to cosplay, who I know I can wear easier. Like from Nier Automata, when I got into that, I really love 9S, but I know for a fact that outfit would be warm, and I don't want to wear a blindfold. And I was like, well, if I don't want to wear a blindfold and I don't want to wear a binder, not that you have to.
Right.
I'm like, who doesn't wear either of those things? Oh, look, A2. I'm like, she's a little bit naked, but it's okay. So, like, that's usually my thought process. Or sometimes if people have a group and they want somebody to fill in, and if the series is something I like and the character they need filled in is somebody I like, I'll do it.
Okay. Do you have any favorites that you've done that you're like, you know what, I point to these, and these are the ones that I really feel like I nailed, not just like the cosplay, but like the character?
Definitely Aerith is one of them. Also because so many people I've met in Aerith have stayed my friends, and a lot of them always associate her with me, which I'm just honored by that, because to me Aerith is like the purest person. Like, I love her character so much. Maybe I steal personality traits from her or something. I wish. But definitely Aerith, because I put in a lot of work for that to make that costume. So everything about that, and like that was a dream come true. And any version of her, like, I still want to do like her Crisis Core dress and other things of her. Like, I just put together her Wall Market outfit, which is fun. So she's definitely one of them. And then Scarlet Witch, I really do like, especially now with the new outfit. The new outfit's a lot more comfortable. I'm not sweating to death in a leather jacket. She's a lot of fun, and I really, really do love Wanda, and I love cosplaying her. But the one thing with her that I really like is a lot of little kids know who she is, and those interactions are the best. Like, it was this past like a couple months ago was Baltimore Comic-Con, and I went in Scarlet Witch, and there was this little boy with his dad. He was dressed as Spider-Man, very adorable Spider-Man, and his dad's like, can we get a picture? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I bend down with him, and I'm like, oh, do you want to do webs, like trying to do the web slinging thing with him? Instead, he decides to grab my hand and just hold it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like, I'm gonna cry, kid, you can't do this to me. I'm like, oh no. And then he wouldn't let go for like half a second. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, Spider-Man. He was cute. Like, with Wanda, the kids are great. Most Marvel characters are fun too. Like, Loki's fun, but he's a villain, so sometimes kids are scared.
Right.
But those two especially, I always like wearing Aqua for Kingdom Hearts too, because it's always just fun to find Kingdom Hearts fans, and just there's a lot of inside jokes in that fandom that are just fun to throw around, that you don't get to do a lot if you don't, like, my friends know Kingdom Hearts, but they don't all like play it intensely. And if you've ever tried to explain Kingdom Hearts to anybody, it's like 8 hours, and then it still doesn't make sense. You're like, I don't get it either, just go with it. Like, Mickey's a king and there's Final Fantasy characters, so just ignore it. Nobody dies, there's hearts and light everywhere. There you go.
Yep.
But I think those three are like the big ones. I'm actually really liking Tifa though now. She's a lot of fun because I can move in her. And she's, I don't want to say she has more arm movement than Aerith, but I don't have a ponytail wig to fight with. So
right.
She's fun. But yeah, those are like the top ones right now. Kurapika was fun, but I've only worn him once to a con, so I need to wear him more to get the vibes.
Okay. Well, the last question I have with cosplay is generally the question that everyone gets asked, and that is like, what's on your list? Like, what's a character, or who's a character that you would love to do, either this year or just in the future in general? So
right now, my friend is helping me make this. I'm working on Imogen from Critical Role Campaign 3. Okay. So I recently just got into Critical Role, and I'm really excited to like be a part of like this big family. Like, it's really interesting seeing how, because I've never watched other people play D&D. So I'm working on her, and that's like a different thing. Like, I've never cosplayed somebody's character. Like,
right.
Like, that's not a corporation. So I'm interested with how that plays out. So hopefully I'll have that done this year. That's like a goal. Kurapika was a goal to have done by the end of this year, like 2021.
Hmm.
So he's done. So I'm looking forward to wearing him more. And then I do want to wear Aerith, like the wall market dress, out more because I spent forever finding a chair that I could take to a convention, carry around. I had to paint that. I have a toddler chair. Um, so if any other Aeriths are out there and they want to know what my chair is, it's a toddler chair. It was very expensive. I don't know why. And I spray painted it. But those three, I'm trying to think of like who else. Because I'm kind of at the point with cosplay where like I've done. I think I did my dream cosplay too early. Like I did Aerith like almost right out of the gate, like that main outfit.
Right.
So everybody's like, "Oh, what's your favorite? What's your dream?" And I'm like, "Kind of did it." And it was Kurapika, but he's done now, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." So I'm still like looking around. I just did a test of Todoroki, and everybody's like, "Go do Todoroki." So maybe him. He would be fun to like throw together, like his outfit. So maybe him.
Okay, awesome. And I love that you found a solution for carrying a steel chair around, because that boggled my mind whenever I'd see people. It's like, are you taking that to conventions, or is it just for your photo shoots? Because
they're heavy. Because I was like, oh, I'll just take one, and I was like, wait, first of all, it's metal. That's not allowed. That's a weapon.
yeah,
Shit. And then I was like, wait, two, I can't carry that around. That's like 4 pounds. That's a lot to lug, especially when you have like a gown on. So
yeah.
I was like, I was gonna make one out of foam, and I'm like, that's too hard. Let me not do that. And then I was trying to find plastic chairs, which apparently they don't make. They do not make tiny plastic chairs that fold, that look like that.
Yeah, no.
So, little toddler chair.
That's awesome that you found something, because it looks good.
Thank you. And it's fun to carry. Like it's pretty light. And as long as like the conventions doesn't make me piece tie it, which I have done before with like fishing wire, you can use it as a seat. Like it holds me.
That's a plus right there.
That's what I was like, don't let me tie it. So I'm planning on taking that to Katsu. So hopefully they don't make me tie it, so I have a little chair. I'll people watch while sitting on the ground with my tiny little chair.
Exactly. Now, Morgan, I've got to spend a wonderful amount of time with you this evening. And for people that have listened and are interested in finding out where they can find you, what are the best places to find you out there on the great wide internet?
So Instagram, I think, is probably the social media that I am most active on. So that's cosmic_C_turtle, all lowercase. I think if you type in cosmic_C, I show up. So that's probably the easiest way to see anything. Facebook is just linked to my Instagram. It's Cosmic Sea Turtle Cosplay. So anything on Instagram, you'll see on Facebook because I'm lazy. Okay. And then Twitter, I don't post cosplays a lot. Well, maybe I do. I still don't understand how Twitter works.
It's a trash fire.
Yeah, it is. Like, I use it for updates more so and to see other people's drama. Like, oh, what happened at your work today? You know, it's a good little venting space. That one is Cosmic Sea Turtle, all one word, but the Cosmic doesn't have the O. Super creative. I know. Somebody stole my name. And then I make TikTok, so feel free to look at them, but do not judge them because most of the time I don't have makeup on and I'm just messing around with my camera. So those are basically the places to find me. I'm also on cosplay.com. That's Cosmic Sea Turtle.
Which just came back like a week ago or so.
Yeah, they updated it. Like I used to go on there and like just stare at people's costumes, and now I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I remember that from like 2000, like early 2000s, like early mid 2000s. It's like, yeah. And then I saw somebody talk about it. It's like, what? It's back?
I know. I'm like, oh my god, everything's coming back. Like, let's bring back Gaia online. I still have coins on there. I need to use them. But yeah, so I'm on there now. I'm more using that as an archive. So I don't really know what I'm doing on there because they changed everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can search anymore either. It's interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to search somebody up and I was like, I couldn't find them. I remember their old username from like way back in the day, but is like, no, they don't even, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, they'll probably update it some more because it's all coming back and everybody's going back to it. So we'll see what happens there. That's a blast from the past.
Exactly. Well, if you have listened to the podcast and you're interested in finding Morgan, the links are in the show notes and on the website and Facebook page, so you can click on it and take a look. Definitely give Morgan a follow, especially on Instagram, because that's where all the good stuff is.
Thank you.
Because I'm not a TikTok person, so I haven't
Neither am I.
explored that. But Morgan, I want to say thank you. I mean, we hung out for a little bit longer than I expected, but I really enjoyed getting to especially the Marvel and the Final Fantasy that. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, thank you for letting me ramble and talk about my love for Zach Fair. I could probably fill 8 hours of that, man. It's always fun to talk about fandoms with other people, even if they're not in the fandoms. It's great.
Always. Well, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Tales from the Fandom. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/talesfromthefandom to see photos, links, leave feedback, and check out upcoming guests. If you'd like to be a guest, email David at talesfromthefandom@gmail.com.